Hello, how are you today? This is JilliBling, and wait till you see what I'm working on today. This is Gathered Wheat Bundle, and it comes with the stamp set and the dies. And I'll also be using deckled rectangles. And this, before I had those scissors that did the decal edge, I loved them, used them on everything. So when I saw these dies, it's like, oh, I'm not going there. But they have become my new favorite, and I seem to be using them on everything lately. We'll also be using the ruffle embossing folder, but this is a project. And I kept on thinking, okay, I want to do something with it, and I was thinking about coloring it, but I kept on going back to just simply gold embossing with the little banner. The banner is adorable. So this is what I came up with, and I love it. I don't know quite why I love it. Maybe just because it's so simple, but it's elegant, it's beautiful. So today's project, which direction do you think? Kind of like both of them. I guess I'll have to decide. Let's do the portrait direction. Okay. So that's it for pieces, not much. And this one, okay, so in the background, using blending brushes, I did Pool Party, which, that's my go-to. It seems to be my favorite color lately. Pool Party. Then this one I did Sand, and I like how that came out. To me, it's kind of harvest looking color. But I also want to do one in Petal Pink. And we'll be using Cascading Ruffle Embossing Folder in just a minute. So let's start from the bottom of the card and work up. And I will list all the paper cut sizes on my blog, and my blog is JilliBling.com. So this is Stampin' Up! White cardstock thick. And it's thick just like the colored cardstock. Okay, we decided portrait, and we'll do that in a minute. This is for, it's kind of hard to see. Let me get that crumb cake paper. And it's funny, Terry pointed something out. She's a Tuesday stamp or a Saturday stamper. She says you always use crumb cake, and now I'm thinking about it, and it is true. Okay, so on the stamp, and I'm going to use the Thinking of You stamp. Just because I so love that little banner, and the Thinking of You is slightly curved, which is perfect for the little banner. But my little note here at the bottom says stamp high on the paper. And I have a good bad example. Here's my bad example. You stamp it in the middle of the paper, like this one. And when you go to put your die on there, get it all lined up, uh-oh, the ends come off. So if you stamp it higher on the paper, just fine. So that's what my little note means. Stamp it high on the paper. Okay, we'll use that in a minute. So just stamp it with Thinking of You. High on the paper. So right in the middle, that might be, that should be fine. Okay, and let me find that die again. That's just fine. And when you go to line this up, when I did the Pool Party, I lined it up with the T in the bottom of the F, and you could see that it's kind of slanting downhill. So when you go to line it up, if you can, line up the bold letters, the Thinking You, because that of will just fit right in the middle. And when you have this set, and let me know if you want this bundle, I would love to be your demonstrator. When you go to put this on here, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you do a whoops. Okay, so here it is. And there's little score lines. So at the score line, you could fold it and fold it. And look how it makes like a fancy schmancy banner. Yeah, that is just so cute. Stampin' Up, they've done that a few times, and every time I just love it. Okay, so we'll put that on in a minute. Okay, what do we have going here? This is inside paper. This is for the wheat. Let's just do the wheat. Wheat. It's done in Versamark. Big wheat stamp. So Tony turned on the fireplace. It's a gas fireplace, but it's just wonderful because you go over there and you get the remote control, click it on. You want it on high, low, medium. What color do you want the flame behind it? What temperature do you want it? It's just wonderful. And it's over there running, the fan is going, the dog is snuggly. So this whole project, the only reason I was hesitant to do the gold embossing was I feared that the stamp is beautifully detailed, and I didn't want to lose any of the detail in the stamp. So I thought embossing it might kind of lose some of the detail, but it didn't, and this is just fine. We'll use this for the inside in just a minute. So I'll heat set this. Okay, so now I'm going to use the die on it, and this die, just a few notes on it. When you line it up, oop, sounds like Tony's here. When you line it up so that the rope right here is right in these little cutout, the little divots for the rope. And then up here it'll look like, oh, that's much too high. But it just works out really well if you just focus on lining up the rope, and then make sure that these little wheat pieces are included. Okay, then let's cut this out. Okay, so there that is. And then let's work on the blending brush, getting all these pieces ready. And you could cut them out first if you want, or we could do the blending brush. I've got it here ready to go. So this one I'm going to do in Petal Pink. So get it loaded up with color, and then start right in the middle. Many times right when your blending brush goes down onto the paper, you get a heavy ink spot right there. But because the wheat will cover it up, it's okay if it's a little heavy there. And then just kind of drift a little higher and a little lower. Again, I'm going to start in the middle and then work my way out. See how it got really heavy there? But that will be just fine. And however much color you want to do. And we'll do a little bit of the blending brush on the inside. Okay, so pieces. This needs to be cut. So here's the two decal. These are the two largest size of the decal rectangles. So this one's going to go on here, that one on there. And so this foil gold paper comes in 3 flavors. There is, let me get them. There is the shiny traditional gold. There is the brush gold that's maybe leaning a little bit more toward copper. And then there's the gold that's leaning a little more toward champagne. So in the pack, you get all 3 of those colors. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out, and then I will texture this piece. Okay, so this, that, starting to happen. This on here. So to get the texture underneath the gold foil, I'll texture this one with the embossing folder. And the embossing folder, I know it's ruffles, but I was thinking, have you ever seen wind over a field? And you know how it just blows and it makes it look like waves? I thought, this is kind of like that. So I'll texture this one. And that will go right here. So I think it's time to start assembling. I was going to use the liquid glue is good, but Stamp and Seal is equally good. Good and sticky. And you'll need something really good and sticky, like either of these, for attaching the pieces that are embossed or also heat embossed, because they tend to warp a bit. Okay, so cascading ruffles. Can you see just a little border and then the texture on here? And this piece, yep, I'm recycling paper. And that has the blending brush on it, and then after that it was textured with the cascading ruffles. Now this goes on with a dimensional or 2 or 6. And that goes right in the middle. I think it's going to look good. Then the wheat goes on. And because it was heat embossed, it needs probably more dimensionals than most. So that could go right here in the middle. Okay, and then let's attach the banner. So the banner, I will use mini dimensionals, and I'll put 4 of them on the inside and in the center. And these, I'm trying to get it a bit close to this fold right here, because that will help hold the fold right where I want it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I've got the 4 dimensionals right on here, and now I'll take this and just push that little fold right into that dimensional, and that just keeps it popped up. Then I'll use liquid glue to hold down the flaps, and I'm just trying to put a thin layer of liquid glue. Trying. That was a little heavy. Okay, so now this can go on here, right about there. Okay, the front is done just like that. I think the petal pink might be my favorite. That's really pretty. You know, I wonder what about like navy. Let's stamp on this one first. So this, the words, there is thinking of you, and then there's 2 additional words in this stamp set. My heart is filled with gratitude, or simply thank you for all you do. How about the gratitude one? I love this font. Wait till you see it stamped. It's just very pretty. There's gratitude. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and now this big wheat, I'll put it, where did I put this one? Here, so I'll put this, the one we're doing right now, right over here. So that will go into Versamark. Right here. And then into the gold powder. See, the project is almost done. It's really simple. So pretty. Okay, and then a hint of petal pink. Again, I'll start right in the center, because if it has heavy ink right there, that will be okay. A little heavier than planned, but that's okay. Okay. And see how the paper is warped from the heat embossing? So use your Stampin' Seal or your liquid glue, and that will hold it down. Isn't that nice? Okay, so that's it for today's project. Which color do you like best? Leave a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts. So there is petal, pool party, and sand. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.